Alright, let's try that again. Hi everybody, it's Caitlin, and we're back for another Swift Tea episode this evening. And, sorry if you were connected to the last live stream, we froze, lost connection, so I had to reconnect, so hopefully everybody's able to get on. This one already seems to be working better, so I'm feeling positive about it. So we started a few minutes late tonight. We were getting our beverages and things, but I'll go ahead and jump into my spiel, introduce my guest, and then we will get into tonight's topic. So if you're watching this live, make sure you wave, let us know that you're here, and we'll respond to the comments when we see them and when we can. I was doing some scrapbooking today, so I did not get the opportunity to post like a reminder or anything for tonight's live. So if you're watching this as a replay, that is a-okay. You can still wave, comment, let us know. I do see the comments after the fact and we'll respond to them. And especially if you're watching this on YouTube, you can comment along and follow along with us. And I have been uploading quite a few videos this week, or it's my goal to upload quite a few videos this week, so make sure you scroll up and down if you're watching this on YouTube and check out all of my latest videos. And you can hit that notification button in your phone or hit the little bell to be notified about my latest videos. And if you're watching this on Instagram and are not a YouTube subscriber, make sure you jump over there and subscribe to the Your Geeky Girlfriend channel on YouTube. And yes, it is the same, hello, it is the same exact spelling and everything. I have book reviews over there, movie reviews over there, so more geeky stuff over on the YouTube page, and the fashion stuff stays here. But of course, all of the Tay Talks can be found over there. So, speaking of Tay, I'm back again with my lovely guest star, and we're going to talk about this Red, yes, Taylor's version. I have the album tee on tonight. Perfect occasion outfit.
I'm also wearing red, since that is the album we're going to be talking about, and sporting a little bit of OSU, since that is where we are tuning in from, is Ohio. So if you
apologize in advance for the connection, we're having some technical difficulties, so just bear with us. If we get disconnected, I promise you we will jump back on, and we'll just have to do a two-part video. A-okay. So, tonight we're going to be talking about Red, Taylor's version, and this is going to be part 1. What is unique about Red, Taylor's version is there are actually 14 bonus tracks / from the vault tracks, some of which were on the original release of Red when it released in, what year was that, 2012?
Yes.
Yes. So, my facts are a little rusty, but when the original Red album released, it did come as a 2-disc album, and 2-disc vinyl as well if you were a vinyl person. And the second disc had just the bonus tracks, and those included The Moment I Knew, Come Back, Be Here, Girl at Home, and an acoustic / radio remix version of Treacherous, and an acoustic version of State of Grace. So in Taylor's version, we lost the Treacherous remix, we kept the State of Grace acoustic version, we kept Girl at Home, it's a little bit slightly different, we kept Come Back, Be Here, and we kept The Moment I Knew. So we're going to talk about those tonight, and we're going to add the From the Vault tracks as well, with the exception of All Too Well 10-minute version, because if you watched our last episode, we discussed that really needs to be its own episode. And fun fact, we actually recorded a All Too Well short film review, and we watched it. We did like a live viewing of it, and YouTube did not allow the video to be uploaded due to copyright, so we have to re-record that video. It will be coming soon, and we're going to do a whole episode just on the All Too Well 10-minute version, comparing it to the original, and it will be a separate episode from this episode tonight and our next Red episode, because we were discussing in our last episode that All Too Well just is a beast of its own, and if you say that it is not your favorite song on the Red album, you're lying, because everybody, yes, we are Swifties, big ones, so if you are new to the channel or this is your first time joining us live, which I think it is for you, thank you so much for joining us. We are going to be talking all about Taylor Swift. So, without further ado, since there are 13 tracks that we have to talk about tonight, which will include the original bonus tracks, and just some other tracks that were done during this era that were never put on the album, which have been included in the From the Vaults. We're going to talk about those when we get there. And all of the From the Vault tracks, except for All Too Well. That's its own video. So if you're looking for tidbits on the All Too Well 10-minute version or our thoughts on that, it'll be a whole separate video. We felt it was only fair. Because even though there are so many great From the Vault tracks and bonus tracks on this album, I can candidly and honestly say that this, like Red Disc 2, I've listened to so much. Even when the original album came out, I tended to listen to Disc 2 over the original album, and I have always loved the bonus tracks, but even still, the Red From the Vault tracks are my favorites that she's done out of all of them. So these ones are still the ones that I keep coming back to, and
they are pretty good.
So that's why we're going to have a lot to talk about, I'm sure, and we have 13 tracks. Wow, 13. 13 tracks to talk about, so we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. And if you are new to these, the first part of these album episodes and the first part of the Swifties, or Swiftie, we always do our rankings in the first episode, and then next episode we're going to talk about the actual tea behind all of the songs, which we alluded to a lot of the red tea in our last episode. So if you watched that last one, or if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. It was our Midnights episode 2-2, where we did the second part of the Midnights album, and we did talk a lot about what was to come in these episodes, but we always start from the bottom and we work our way up. So we start with our least favorite, and then we work our way all the way up to the most favorite, which if you follow along the whole time, it becomes process of elimination, but I think it makes it more fun than to start with the favorite and then have to talk about the least favorite. It's easier if you start from the least favorite and then get to talk more positive.
I will just throw it out there again. This was hard, so disclaimer, my bottom ones were, even though they're at the bottom for a reason, I still like all the songs. Like, they're all, even the ones that are at the bottom are still fairly decent songs. So, this is always a challenge for us.
Yeah. And I also, right before, I was like, you know what? It's 10 minutes till. I really need to put these songs in order because I've been thinking about it for all afternoon, how I wanted to rank them. And so I did it, with 10 minutes to spare, and I was just like, first instinct, go. And I just went based on what, if I had to listen to one of these songs right now, what would it be? And then I just narrowed it down. So it was a bit hasty for me. It's usually way easier to get my rankings, but these ones, it was tough to, actually place them.
Yeah.
So, you are my guest, so I will let you go first with number 13. What is your least favorite bonus or From the Vault track? Remember, this is going to be, we're lumping all of the original bonus tracks in with the From the Vaults, in with the random era tracks that were thrown on this disc 2.
Yeah. All right. So, number 13 at the bottom. This was tough, but I think that one's going to be Run. I don't know. See, that one, that's not one that I've listened to as much as some of the others that are more of my favorites, so that one has potential to grow on me. I just haven't given it enough of a chance quite yet, and I feel guilty putting it this low at the bottom because Ed Sheeran is in it. However, I just couldn't quite get into it like the other ones immediately. Like I said, this one I haven't given enough of a chance to, so if I listen to it as frequently as some of the other ones, maybe it'll grow on me, but it didn't quite grab me like some of the other ones did immediately. So that's subject to change. But as of right now, I'm going to rank that one lower.
Okay. Well, I disagree, which we will discuss that later. Because that one is very high on my list. Very, very high on my list. Not the top, but up there.
Yeah.
But, for me, number 13 has to be the State of Grace acoustic version. Because I skip it every time. Not because I don't like it, but because I like everything else more.
Yeah.
And this was a song that was, this was a song that was on the original, even in the deluxe version. There's always been a State of Grace acoustic version. And not that I don't like it, but it goes to the same reason why I don't like Sad, Beautiful, Tragic. I just feel like it kind of goes on forever, and if I do listen to it, I end up skipping, I don't finish the song, because I'm just okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I just kind of get bored with it, and I always liked the original State of Grace better than the acoustic version because of the beat and because of the melody and everything. And so for me, this one was this one was one that was a no-brainer, like bottom of the list, because I skip over it every time because I just want to listen to whatever's next.
Yeah.
And in the case of, these tracks that we're discussing, next on the list is, I think, let me see. I think it's either Better Man or something like that. Like, it's one that, because it's not, well, no, it would be Ronin. It would be Ronin, because Ronin's track 5 and this one's track 4. So if we're thinking about the order of the CD, like, I'm just like, skip over it, because I want to get to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of spoiled my list a little bit, because obviously Ronin is more preferred than that one. But, yeah, I always skip over it, and I'm just like, eh.
Yeah. It's one of those things that it kind of makes me question, like, I'm not questioning her, but at the same time, I'm like, you could take any of those songs and make an acoustic version and put it on your bonus.
Correct.
Like, so why that one in particular? Again, not questioning her,
Agreed.
but I just have questions about that.
Agreed. Like, why was that one selected over all the other ones? I even feel like, and I'm not a huge, I Knew You Were Trouble fan. Hey, Nate.
Hey, Nate.
But I feel like I would appreciate an acoustic version of that one more than State of Grace. Especially because State of Grace, like, is such a strong way to start off the album. And it's just like that beat just gets you from the beginning. And then it's like, why? Why do we need an acoustic version of this? I don't know. But maybe for some people it's the bee's knees. But for me, it was a no-brainer. Bottom of the list. Even when I was doing my homework and listening to the CD today on my way home, I was like, yeah, no. I can't even listen to it for research purposes. And I even listened to Midnight Rain for research purposes. And again, it's not that I don't like the song. Like, the original version is fine. I listened to the pop version, but the acoustic one, I'm just like, I don't need it. I can skip it. And so, yeah, that's fair. Next.
All right. Do you want to go into number 12?
Oh, sure, I'll go next. Number 12 for me, this one was hard. I was, like, the next 4 in a row, I was, like, torn. I couldn't really decide, like, where I wanted them to go. But I just trusted my gut. So number 12 for me is Forever Winter. I don't really have anything to say either way about why I put it here. Mm-hmm. I think the other songs, like, are better. Or, like, I like the other songs for whatever reason. And when I was looking at my list of 4 that I had to play still, I was like, which one, like, if I had to listen to one of these right now, I was like, okay, and it wasn't Forever Winter. If I had to listen to one of these 3 right now, it wasn't Forever Winter. One of these 2, and it just was not Forever Winter. There are some really good things lyrically in this song, and I like what she does vocally in this song. Like, when she's like, my voice comes out begging in the first verse, and then the second one, my voice comes out screaming, and she's screaming it. I think there's a lot of good, I think this is a very good story about, like, emotional and mental red flags. I think there are a lot of semi-verbally / emotionally abusive things that the narrator of this song is going through, and she's saying, my voice is coming out screaming, he's drunk at 5 a.m., and all these different, like, red flags, and she finally just comes to the realization of, like, this isn't, like, maybe if you said you believed in love, I would stick around or something. So that's, like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the song, but if I had to, like, there are some days where I think I've skipped this one too, because I'm just like, I'm not really in the mood to listen to this right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Sarah. And hey, Nate.
So for me,
tell Heidi and Evelyn we say hello.
Hi, Sarah. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. Like I said, it just, comparing, like, the ones that fell above it on the list, if I was looking at it and, like, which one could I listen to right now, it wasn't that one. It just kept being passed up. Like, it's fine. And, like, when it's on, I sing along to it, and it's fine. But I also feel like this one is one of the ones that I still don't know all the words to. And I don't know if it's just because I'm not attached to it, or I just like don't have that connection to it, that I haven't
I feel that,
prided myself on learning all the words.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it gets overlooked, I think. And that's probably how some people are probably out there like, what? This is the best one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't get behind it as much as I can some of the other ones. Like, my number one is my number one, and has been my number one for a really, 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 really long time. Like, as soon as I heard it. And so, like, and same with, like, number 2, number 3, like, I just have deep connections to those ones. And this one I just can't, I can't really get my claws in, I guess.
Yeah. So, that's also my number 12.
Oh, look at there.
So, yeah, like, similar types of things. Like, I think it's a good song. You know, the lyrics are good and all that. But it's just not one that I feel like, I haven't quite dug my claws into it. Like you said, I think, you know, I've heard it a few times, but it's not one of those ones that I have to always be turning back on. But it's still, like, a good song, but I just haven't quite connected with, like, all of the... Yeah. So...
Wow, that's funny. Yeah. We don't agree very often, and if you're new here, it's very rare that when we do these rankings, I think we did for the... Whatever was
that,
this?
what
was the first
was
one?
that? We agreed on, like, most of them.
Was it the... No, it wasn't Midnight's. Speak Now. The Speak Now bonus tracks. We had like 3 out of 5 that were the same. And we were like, okay. But yeah, we hardly... The Midnight's ones, we were all over the place. We hardly ever agree.
Yeah.
And if you go back and watch some of my more early Tay Talks, where we talked about like our album rankings and our favorite songs of all time and all those different things, it becomes way more clear. Like, her favorite songs and my favorite songs hardly ever align for different reasons. Let's see what number 11 is.
Number 11 is Come Back Be Here.
Just kidding. That one's not super high up, but it's higher than 11.
I don't know. It's one of those ones that, like, I've listened to it quite a few times, and, like, it's a very, very fun one to sing along to and, like, get really into it, but I just don't have that draw to it to where I'm like, when I think of listening to Red, I'm not like, oh, I want to hear Come Back Be Here. Like, you know, my Red non-bonus, from the vault tracks are like All Too Well, 22, you know, Begin Again, or Stay, 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 or like We're Never Ever Getting Back, like the ones that were singles. So I guess that, like, I don't know, and even when you combine, like, I don't want to spoil it from the vault tracks and all that either, but just overall, this isn't one of the ones where I'm like, I really want to listen to Come Back Be Here. And when it comes on, I don't skip it. Like, I like it, but yeah.
Yeah, you could live without. Like, you wouldn't choose it out of a lineup, but also you're not going to skip it either.
It's a fun one to kind of, like, scream sing to a little bit, but I'm not, like, chomping at the bit to hear it and sing along.
All right. Anything else?
No.
All right, for me, number 11, I was actually kind of shocked where this one fell, but it is what it is. Number 11 for me is Babe, and let me preface and say that I really, really, really liked the Sugarland version of this song when it was done originally.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Babe was a song that was penned by Taylor Swift. She was featured on it as an artist, but Sugarland actually, like, bought and owned the rights and released the song as their own. Taylor Swift appears in the music video as the other woman, and Taylor Swift sang, like, the backup vocals for the song, and it is a beautiful song. It's very well written, classic Taylor Swift style writing. And when I found out that Babe was on Red Taylor's version, I was excited. I was excited about it. However, I was kind of a little bit let down in how the vocals sounded. Not that I'm upset about Taylor singing, but it feels like it's missing something almost. And now I will say, with that being said, she did add some background vocalizations and some other background, like the promises, promises. That part is not in the original. So she did add some additional background things to separate it from the original.
Yeah.
Which, if you've been following this whole Taylor's version versus original records thing at all, you know that that's kind of the jig. Like, she has to change everything slightly so that way it's a whole new song. So whether she changes an and to a the, or an of, or an or takes away some background music, adds some background music, that's kind of the whole thing about re-recording your own music, is you do have to make it a little bit different. So she added some of those things, and it's still a great song. I love the I'm a wreck, you're the wrecking ball line, like, ugh. And so, like, there are so many good things about this song, but I do think I prefer overall the Sugarland vocals to it. I think.
Yeah.
I like it. It's fine. I don't skip it, except for today. I did skip it today because I was really trying to, like, get the order of everything in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a song that this is a song that I hear out and about a lot. Like, I'll hear it in restaurants or in stores, and I always will jam out to it because I feel like it's an underrated kind of song.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that a lot of people know the history of it. So, like, when I hear the Sugarland version, I'm always like, oh, did you know that Taylor Swift wrote this song? Like, that's a fun fact that you can throw in to your casual conversation. And, like, even my husband, who is a country music fan, not necessarily a huge Taylor Swift fan, I told him that, and he was like, what? And I said, yeah, that's her voice in the background. Like, she's the background singer in this. So that's, like, a fun fact. But overall, I think I prefer, like, the difference in vocals. I don't want to say that I prefer Sugarland's, Jennifer Nettles is her name. And, like, I'm not discrediting her vocals and discrediting Taylor's vocals, but I think the difference in the two voices elevates it just a little bit more. I do think overall Taylor's version is a little bit more upbeat and a little bit faster paced.
Yeah.
In my mind, that's how I am hearing it. And like I said, with the promises.
Yeah.
Can't sing too much or else I get banned. But yeah, that's where it just kind of, that was just how it felt. Again, kind of like Forever Winter, I was looking at my list and I was like, which one do I want to listen to right now, or could I listen to right now? And it was just like something else was just a little bit higher. But I don't know. But I like that she did her own version of it. I like that. And now that we have both versions in existence, I'm still waiting on if this was a movie, but it's fine. Still salty about that. Oh, is it my turn now, though?
No, you said 11. So we both said our number 11s, I think.
Oh.
Right?
Did you say your number 11?
Yeah, mine was Come Back to Here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So it would be my turn to go with my number 10 then, right?
You just said your number 11, right? Wasn't Babe 11 for you?
Yeah, but then I usually go to the...
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just going to say because Babe is my number 10, so...
Oh, well, then never mind. You can
That's why I was just going to go.
Go ahead and go, yeah.
But yeah, I agree with everything pretty much everything that you said. Like, it's a really good song. I really liked when Sugarland sang it. And I wasn't let down. Like, I still like it, and it's a really good song. But I think I would agree with you that, like, there are maybe some vocals missing a little bit, but her voice sounds really good with it. But overall, it's just another one of those ones, like, it got ranked lower just because there are there are just a few that are up higher for me.
Yeah.
So.
There are just a few that just really hit. I'm going to come in close, check the comments real quick. Nothing else, alright? Alright, my number 10 is The Very First Night. And I like this song. I really, really like the beat of it. I like how it starts off. Like, the first verse is really, really catchy, gets stuck in my head. The chorus gets stuck in my head. And I like it. Like, I really, really like this song. I think there are, like, if you listen to the lyrics, I think there are references to kind of some other songs throughout her discography, not just on the Red album, but also some references to, like, some Reputation songs and different things, which we'll talk about next week, or next time when we have part 2 of this. But, again, like, whether it was nostalgia to some other things, whether lyrically I like some other things better, like, for whatever reason, I just was like, it has to go there. Like, there's no other spot for this because I kind of did my list in reverse order of how we're doing it. Like, I knew what number 13 was, and I knew what number 1 was, and then I kind of filled them in from top to bottom. Mm-hmm. And so when I got to this middle chunk of, like, 9 through 12, I had, like, 3 or 4 songs that I just was like, I don't really know. Like, any of these could go in any of these places. And so that's kind of what it was for me. This is another one that I don't know if I know all the words to, and I think it's because I skip around on the album so much. Like, I listened to the first half of disc 2, which is, like, the moment I knew all the way through, like, nothing new, and then I kind of skip around. Like, I'll either skip directly to All Too Well 10-minute version, or I'll, like, listen to, like, Message in a Bottle in the very first night, and then skip over the other one. So I just kind of bounce around in the second half. It's rare that I actually, like, listen. Like, here's what I typically do, and I'm gonna diverge the conversation for a little bit. I will put in disc 2, I will actually rewind to All Too Well 10-minute version, and then listen to it. So I listen to All Too Well 10-minute version first, and then play, then go through the moment I knew and go on. So typically my car rides are 30 to 40 minutes. Well, if the All Too Well is 10 minutes, then I only get through 4 or 5 songs. And then I either switch CDs or I don't listen to the CD for a while, and then whenever I turn it on, I have to go back and, like, listen to All Too Well again. Mm-hmm. So I typically end up bouncing around in the first night. If I'm listening to this from start to finish, I will listen to the very first night and enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the time it just gets overlooked in my bouncing around of the ones that I actually want to listen to. And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it's a catchy song, and yeah, but it's fine. Like, it's just fine.
All right.
Brings us to number 9.
All right.
Numero 9.
So number 9, I think I'm gonna say State of Grace acoustic.
Solid middle.
And yeah, like, I don't know. It's hard for me to rank one like that so low because State of Grace is a good song. And I've shared this with Caitlin before, and maybe I've shared it on here before. Just about any time I've ever heard Taylor sing an acoustic version of one of her original songs, I've almost always liked it better. Or I think it has something, even if it's not better, like, it has something very special and unique to offer. But kind of back to her point, or, like, to the point that we were making earlier, like, why that one? Like, there are plenty of other songs that could be acoustic. And I don't think that there's anything about that one that it needs to be acoustic. Like, I don't know. It's already not one of my, like, top favorite songs on the Red album, so, like, it's not that I'm, like, super drawn in, other than the fact that, like, I love acoustic versions of her songs. So, yeah.
So, again, very just Okay. My number 9 is a song that is I do have the nostalgia for it, which we'll talk about in a second, but in that same vein, I'm kind of sick of it, because I listened to it so much during...
You're starting to like it less.
Yes, during a period of my life. So number 9 is Come Back Be Here. And I was in a long-distance relationship in high school. You know this, many of my followers know this. And it was really my last serious relationship before I met my husband. So that relationship meant and does mean a lot to me. It's still something that's very fresh. The whole experience was very much like a movie. And I, like, distinctly remember, like, being on the phone with my boyfriend singing Come Back Be Here to him. Like, I remember this. My sister remembers this. She knows the whole, like, obsession with Come Back Be Here. She just mentioned it, like, a few weeks ago and was like, oh, remember when we were obsessed with that song? And I was like, yes, I do. And so now, because of that, I kind of am like, it's one that sometimes I listen to it. Like, sometimes I'm in the mood. And then other times I'm like, no, I have to skip it, because I'm just not in the mood for it. And I have to be, like, in a very specific mood for Come Back Be Here. It also, there was a version of it that was trending on Instagram and TikTok, and it was all over Reels and stuff, and so that, like, this is when the, like, and it had, like, a really low bass beat in it, because it was, like, this photo trend or something, and so I kind of got sick of it for that reason, too, because I was just hearing it a lot.
Yeah.
But it is a great song. It's a great long-distance love song. It is a, like, really true and realistic depiction about what it feels like to have some, like, watch somebody get in a cab and know you're not going to see them for a while, or watch them walk through the airport and know you're not going to see them for a while. So I, like, feel that song because I've lived it and I've been there. And actually, my husband and I dated long distance for a while, too. So I've done a lot of long distance relationships, but particularly during this song was popular during high school. Like, I first heard it when I was in high school, and so it was more relevant at that time. But yeah, so I've done a lot of long distance dating, and so I feel that song. Mm-hmm. But I am kind of sick of it now. And but some days I listen to it. Like, even though I get sick of it, there are some days where I'm like, yeah, I could really listen to that song. And when Taylor's version was first released, I listened to it quite a few times. And it still hits the same. Like, I feel the same emotions that I did the first time listening to it. I think the beats are great. I think the lyrics are great. And it's a great song. But I am a little bit sick of it. And I think it's ranked as high as it is simply because of the nostalgia.
Yeah.
I think I'm more sick of it than I am nostalgic with it right now. But I do still listen to it. And I give it its due. But they're just... all the other ones are just so much better.
Yes.
That's it.
All right.
Is my turn to do number 8?
I think so.
Okay. My number 8 is I Bet You Think About Me. And I was actually shocked at how low this one was. Mm-hmm. One, because it was new. It was a From the Vault track. Mm-hmm. Chris Stapleton is featured on it, if you didn't know that. So it does have that, like, twangy country feel. That being said, I don't 100% love Taylor's vocals in this song. Because I feel like, especially towards the end of the song, we're getting less singing, more talking.
Yeah.
And not that that's a bad thing, but she is a singer at the end of the day. So I like to hear singing, and I've talked about this in other videos, there are other songs amongst her discography where I'm like, I don't like how her voice sounds in this song. And that is a very popular trend in how I rank things. Because I've said it before and I'll say it again 100 times. I appreciate her talent as a musician, and so I like when I feel like her voice sounds nice. And in this one, not that it sounds bad, I think she's trying to match Chris Stapleton's, like, twangy countryness, and a lot of the song comes out as talky. But perks of this song. The music video is incredible. It's directed by Blake Lively. If you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend. It is hilarious, and Miles Teller is also in it. So it's, like, star-studded. It's just absolutely hilarious. And it was a great intro to Red Taylor's Version era, which is when it came out. And there are some really iconic lines in this song, like the "oh my god, she's insane" part. Like, love that. I love the part about his organic shoes and his $1 million couch. I think that's hilarious. And, like, there are just a lot of, like, funny things. Like, I don't have to be a shrink to tell you you're not getting over me, or whatever that line is. Like, happy. You'll never be happy. Like, yeah. Like, this is a very great breakup song. It matches the Red era perfectly. And these are all things that you think about after a breakup. Like, I bet you're thinking about me. Like, we've all been there. We've all, like, seen our dude with his new girl and been like, whatever, you're thinking about me. You know it, ladies. You know you've been there. Guys, too, probably. It could be applicable to men, too. Be like, I bet you think about me, girl. So, it's funny, it's fresh, but I don't 100% love her vocals, but there are so many things that I like about it. And it was new, but again, like every other one on my list. Like, the higher we get up on the list, it's just like, but it's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. But I do really have a deep appreciation for this song, and I do highly recommend the music video. Blake Lively did a fabulous job. It is hysterical, it's fresh, it's funny, and a little bit explicit, if I remember correctly. Like, I think Taylor, like, uses the middle finger at one point, so just, know what you're getting into, but... But yeah, it's not in the top 5 because there are so many other ones.
Number 8 for me is Better Man. That one is good. I feel, okay, so first of all, Better Man is another song, just like Babe, that Taylor wrote, and it was actually,
Little Big Town.
Little Big Town, yes. So if you know that song, Better Man, the rights were bought by Little Big Town, and they sing that. And when I heard Little Big Town sing, so I already knew the song, and I've heard it when Little Big Town has sang it before, and it's a good song, and I always, thought it was okay. I never disliked it. And then, when I found out that it was Taylor who actually wrote it, and that she was creating it as her own, and then I listened to it, it made me appreciate it a lot more, and I think her voice is so sweet in that, and I like the way that she sings that song a lot. So it's kind of hard. Yeah, it's kind of hard to rank that one. This is still a pretty middle-ish one for me, which is, kind of, I guess, a solid middle one for me, but I definitely really like the way she does this one, for sure. So, yeah.
I agree with what you said about her voice, which is why it's higher up on the list for me.
Yeah.
I will say it's still not top 5, but it's up there, for sure, because I love the way her voice sounds in this song.
Yeah.
It's, very soulful.
Mm-hmm. So that's all for that one.
All right. My number 8 is actually, no, I already did my number 8, so it's your turn to do your number 7.
Number 7.
Yes.
Okay.
Number
7 would be Girl at Home.
Look at that. Same.
That's your number 7 also?
Yes.
Yes. So I feel like the only reason that this one is ranked so high, it's not, I think it's an easy one to kind of get into.
Ranked so high?
Ranks, yeah. Because, it's still, sort of in the middle, but, I think the reason it ranks as high as it does, is because of the message behind it, and it just shows how much integrity Taylor has. I don't know if you've heard the popular, I feel like it's a Gen Z thing or whatever, she's a girl's girl, that's Taylor, she's looking out for another woman, and she's I feel like I have this accountability. So it's just, really sweet. It's not that I necessarily, go, hard on that one, but, I just love, it does have a nice little beat. It would be a fun one to kind of, jam out to, but I mostly just like what she's writing about, so just shows who she is.
Yes. So I have, unfortunately, I've been the girl on the other side. I've been Taylor in her situation. I've been the girl on the other side. I know what both ends feel like. I like Taylor's version better than the original. So this version on Disc 2 is a little bit poppier. It's a little bit, I get kind of sort of a techno vibe in this one that I did not get in the original. And when I first heard it, I was like, ooh, what is this? I was immediately drawn in because of the change in the sound. And like she said, I like the message. I do go kind of hard to this song. I'm always dancing and bopping, pick up your phone and tell her you're coming home, get away. And I love the message, but I love the beat, and it's very catchy. I hardly ever skip this one. It's one that I'm oh yeah. But it's just a good song. I just like it. But it is number 7, which is dead middle, and it's funny that it's in the middle. Even though I have nothing but good things to say about this song, it's still not top 5 material.
Yeah.
Just crazy.
Yeah.
It just goes to show the quality of these bonus tracks.
I know.
The fact that we had this hard of a time deciding, and we have really nothing bad to say about Girl at Home, and it's just but it's still not the top.
Yes.
But that's 2 we agree on. So that's not that. 2 we agree on. Moving on, number 6. For me, number 6 is actually Ronin, which is probably... What? Oh, you guys.
Let's just throw it out there. Yes, number 6 for me as well.
Which to some people might be shocking. Because if you know anything about... Well, I'm going to tell you, so if you don't know, hang on to your seats. Sit tight. Ronin is actually... the story of Ronin is true. It is about a 4-year-old boy who had a terminal illness and passed away, and his mother reached out to Taylor Swift and asked her to write a song in his honor, and Taylor did. So Ronan is actually based on a true person. I don't know if Taylor actually ever met Ronan or not. That is the part that I don't know. If you know the story, please comment if you know, because I don't actually know if she ever met him, but I know that she's met his mother. And this song is very raw, it's very emotional, and I think it truly encompasses what it feels like. Well, I don't want to say truly encompasses. I want to say it breaches the surface of what it feels like to lose a child. She talks about nostalgic things. She talks about things that she's looking forward to. She talks about experiences that they never got to have. Things that, she, in one point of the song, she's cleaning out his closet of all these hand-me-downs that she was given that he never grew into. Things that she's remembering. She's talking about how all the flowers pile up in the worst way. Like, you're so appreciative of people being there for you, but you don't want them to be because you don't want this situation to be happening. And for me, what does it is how Taylor sings the song. She's very reserved. It's just her. It sounds like it's just her and the piano. And in the middle, right before the very last chorus, Taylor takes a breath. And it's like she's composing herself. It's like she is trying to find the will to continue even singing the song. Mm-hmm. And that's how raw it is for her. And she wrote this song years ago, and it's still, is so emotional to her singing it. And she did not have that same connection. Singing it alone, she has to stop and take a breath. And it's that for me. It's that part for me that gets it. Yeah. And I cannot imagine, if this experience ever happened to me, this would be a song that I would never be able to listen to again. Yeah. But since I haven't lived through the experience, I'm able to appreciate how well written it is, how respectful it is. Yeah. And how, you can tell by the words that she's singing about a little boy who loved his life and loved dinosaurs, and you were going to be this for Halloween, and all this stuff, all the things that preschoolers and 4-year-olds should be talking about is what she talks about in the song. Yeah. And like I said, if this experience ever happens to me, I will not be able to listen to this song again. Yeah. So I'm trying to, I pray every day that never happens to me or anybody that I know, because even if it happened to somebody I know, I wouldn't be able to listen to it. Yeah. So it's even if it was family member or a friend, something that I knew personally, I would not be able to listen to the song again. Yeah. Because it's so beautiful, and it's so powerful, and it's so raw. And that's why I think for a lot of people, it's it's on the bottom. I can't even listen to that song. It's so sad. Yeah. And it is sad. It is. Yeah. But it's also
really powerful, though.
Honest and real and sweet, and it's a nice gesture for her. She could have just looked that lady in the face and be like, no. But she did it. Yeah. So it's just the whole premise of how it came about is beautiful, and now this woman has this woman has this song to remember forever. Yeah. She probably got a copy of the record too, I bet. Yeah. She's just hanging in her house. Yeah. And what a nice memory of something tragic. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got. All right. Did you have anything else about Ronan? No. All right, you're up. Number 5. Here we go. Top 5, everybody.
Number 5, I'm going to have to go with Nothing New. So I like this one. This one's very vulnerable. It was definitely, very vulnerable. I definitely relate to the line where she said, how can a person know so much at 18 but not 22? Totally my life. I feel like I knew more of my life's direction, and I had everything planned out, and I at least thought I knew my future at 13, and then at my early 20s, 10 years later, I had no idea what direction I was headed in. So, or at least, I was kind of a little more up in the air with it. But anyway, I think that this was a really good song, and I was definitely able to connect with some of the lyrics.
I'm at least happy that it's in your top 5. Do you have anything else?
No.
For me, top 5. My 5th one is Better Man, and the reason is that I just love how Taylor's voice sounds in this song.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one of her better songs vocally in all of her discography, especially on the Red album. And as much as I love All Too Well, Better Man blows it out of